Happy Thursday, everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. How about those Jays coming back last night? Big game tonight. Could tie up the series. Anyway, I thought I'd just pull out some random records that have kind of an interesting background to them and just show them and talk about an artist that really inspired me in my younger days. So I'm going to start with Pink Floyd. Anybody got this one, the twofer? It's like a nice pair. It's a 1973 reissue of their debut album, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and A Saucer Full of Secrets. It's an interesting release. If you're a Pink Floyd collector, I'm not. This was given to me. I'm not a completist on Pink Floyd, but if you are, you probably want this because of the unique pressing, switching out of some songs, a mix. It's a mixed bag. They like I said, they released it in a UK version and a US version. The US version, Harvest Records. Kind of a strange reconstruction, especially of Piper. They used tapes from the original US pressings, and then they used some from the UK pressing, so it's a real mixed bag. And also some songs like Astronomy Domine, I pronounce that, is a live version off of Amagama. It's not the studio version that kicks off Piper. I've never listened to it. I'm just reading all about it, but I've had this sitting on the shelf, and I thought I should pull it out and give it a listen. So I just kind of looked up all this information. I found it very interesting. Interstellar Overdrive is different. At the end, it fades out differently. So I know Beatles fans are always into, if you get the mono one, this little part sounds different than the stereo one, and this reissues has, you can hear John sneeze in the background. But Floyd has a lot of that stuff too. So I just wanted to point that out. If you're a Floyd completist or a big Floyd fan, and you find this in the used bins and you think I already have Piper and thing, you might want it just for the uniqueness of it. Double album. Interesting stuff. Next. One day, I ran into this woman like in a dentist's office or something, and we started talking about music. Well, I was waiting for my appointment, and she said she had a whole bunch of records at home, didn't know what to do with them. I said, well, I'd be happy to come over and look at them, give you an honest assessment. Most of it was like just all scratched up. Anything in there that was good was so scratched, and it's just like I said, these records aren't good to collectors because you can't play them. But one stuck out to me because I found it looked unique was this B.B. King album called The Blues. And when I picked it up and looked at it, it's on the Crown label. It's a mono issue. When I looked at it, it's got a lot of scratches on it. I went, see, this album really isn't that playable. And I said, I wish it was, because it's something I'd like to have. I don't know if you can see the marks on it or not. Yeah, see, I think you can see that, right? But the funny thing is, this album came out in 1958. And the funny thing is, these freaking vinyl is like built like a tank. It's in the needle seems to play through all the damage on the record, like the record plays. I was shocked when I got it home and actually played it. Very durable. But anyway, this Crown label, which I'd never heard of before, turns out it's a label from LA, like a low-budget label who does not have a good reputation for putting out good records. They say the sleeves always fell apart. When you bought the records, they were cheap. The pressings were bad. But this actually doesn't sound too bad to me. And they've got a whole list of all these albums that are available on the Crown label. But, from the 1950s, Rock and Roll Dance Party, top rock and roll artist. A Stan Getz album called Groovin' High. Errol Gardner. Who else is on here? Modern. No. Yeah, a lot of comps like Hollywood Rock and Roll Record Hop. Another B.B. King title, B.B. King Singing the Blues. the Jacks, the Teen Queens, just a bunch of weird stuff. Anyway, kind of interesting little collectible stuff, you know. Didn't cost me anything, so. Next, everybody's all excited about the Rush reunion with the new female drummer. She sounds really interesting. I think this is going to be pretty cool. It sounds like Geddy and Alex are right into it. They're going to do 7 shows and 2 in Toronto. I don't know if it's 7 shows or 7 cities, but they have 2 shows scheduled in Toronto. I will not try and buy a ticket because I'm done paying $300 to sit in the last row of a hockey arena or a football stadium to watch a concert. It's not my thing anymore. I've been there, done that. I'm more interested in going to places like Massey Hall and small clubs and maybe anything below, like, you know, like at 70, like smaller hockey arenas and stuff. I don't mind those kind of shows where the tickets are affordable and you can still see and hear and be comfortable. So all you fans who are anxious, I won't be in line. You can have my ticket. But I just pulled out my favorite Rush album, and I have it in this box set. Moving Pictures, the 40th anniversary edition. I love this album. As I've said before, Rush was like a bar band when I was of drinking age, and you'd go to a bar and Rush would be playing there. My wife always says she used to go to this bar called the Penthouse in the East End of Toronto, in east of Scarborough, where I grew up. And they had a bar called the Penthouse, and right beside it was another bar called the Running Pump. And the Penthouse had the bands and the dance. Everybody danced. My wife just loved to go dancing, disco dancing and stuff. And she says they'd go to the pub. Who's playing tonight? Rush. Oh, and she said, oh, we're going to the club next door. It's so hard to believe now, but that's what it was like. Anyway, this box set came out on the 40th anniversary, and the cool thing about it is, well, the album's amazing. That's my favorite Rush album, is the Live from Maple Leaf Gardens show. There's 4 albums, complete concert, and it's a fantastic show. So I love that. It's got the obligatory book. Great stuff. When I was learning how to play bass guitar, I would go on YouTube and look up bassists and start trying to emulate some of the stuff they were doing so I could learn. And Geddy Lee was one I looked up, and I couldn't do anything Geddy does. He's just incredible. I think he's amazing. My friend Pat at Close to the Edge had his buddy Dermot on in his latest video, and they discussed whether Rush was overrated. Musically, that's in the ear of the beholder, but as musicians, I'd say they are not overrated in the least. Incredible musicians. There's the little hype sticker for this, but that's pretty good. Nothing but respect for Rush and Geddy, and awesome. Last but not least, so, you know, I've been playing a banjo since I bought my first banjo like in 1974, I think, 74, 75, and have not stopped playing it since. So you do the math. Changed my life. I've met so many great people, played in bands, played music in Alberta and Ontario, and jammed with people in PEI and down in the States. And it's just really, it's been a great avenue for me, and just one of the most positive things I ever did in my life. But there were 3 events in my life that turned me on to a crazy instrument like that when I was a classic rock guy. One was seeing John Hartford on Glenn Campbell's Good Time Hour, which was a summer replacement show for the Smothers Brothers. Hearing Led Zeppelin 3, Gallows Pole. I heard the banjo in that song. It stuck out to me. I don't know if anybody Zeppelin fans think about the banjo when they hear that song, but that's what I heard. And I went, that sounds so cool in that setting. And then becoming a fan of this man, David Bromberg, who's kind of synonymous with playing some sessions with Dylan. But David Bromberg's been doing sessions since like 1962. He took guitar lessons from the Reverend Gary Davis. That's pretty cool. And anyway, David's a great guitar player, great flat picker. He's can play electric blues. He has a '59, I don't know if it's Strat or a Tele, a Fender of some kind. And he's an amazing musician. Kind of a quirky voice, but just incredible musician. Anyway, very well respected. And first time I heard David Bromberg was sitting with my cousin, high on something, listening to underground radio, and they played this song called Delia, which is an old traditional song. And it was off this album. We kind of made note of who is that? It had this haunting harmonica and this song, All I Got Is Gone. It was really, oh man, crazy. It just really moved us. And I bought this album and fell in love with David Bromberg. That's his first album. His second album, Demon in Disguise, is a great record too. There's David there. And probably my favorite David Bromberg album is Wanted Dead or Alive. And this, if you're into flat picking and fiddle tunes and all that stuff, My Own House is fantastic. Actually, got to meet David a few times. I saw him a million times. But getting back to the story of how he influenced me, he had a big band. David had a band of all brass musicians and string players. He had like a 7-8 piece band, and they used to come to Toronto and play the El Macombo and places like that. I just never missed a show. And he was a great performer, had a great stage presence. He was funny. They would play this scorching blues song and then break into a fiddle tune and then break into, like, it was just incredible. The different genres of music they excelled at. It was awesome. And they were all great players. And he had a guy in his band called Dick Feggy, F-E-G-Y. I think he was from New York City, who played mandolin and banjo. And when the banjo would kick in, I just went, oh my God, I'm starting to really dig that instrument. And that was really the final straw that the epiphany went, I got to get me a banjo. And I bought a $75 El Degas. And yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to chat a little bit about some interesting stuff, and I hope everyone has a great day, and we will talk soon.